Welcome back to Offrame Productions. My name is Chris, and again we are playing some Deus Ex: Mankind Divided, where, you know, sometimes there's always a better solution. Deus Ex has a bleak look on the future. But that being said, anyways, we are going back to Prague. We finished up the quest last episode to get the calibrator. We have not met Kohler because Kohler is not around.
What do you mean?
We have to go onto the next area, and we finished up all the side quests I could find.
Right.
And now we're going to go into the main storyline, where we are going to head into TF29. But first, let's go and talk to some NPCs. So I had made mention that Neurozophine is like the drug of the game. I had actually kind of been misinformed by myself and my lack of memory from having played the game like a couple years back. Now, Neurozophine is a drug in this game to help better acclimate your body to connections to augmented, your augments. So if you have, so say you have a, like Adam Jensen here, you have an arm.
Sure, I'll take them.
You have an arm that's augmented. You know, your body kind of wants to reject it because it's a foreign substance. Now, Neurozophine forces the brain to accept it, and it has created some backlash, or not some backlash. It has created some issues with people, as he's mentioning, as this guy's mentioning. It has created some issues where Neurozophine can become an addiction. I had completely forgotten about it because I am mostly cyborg, and I have like the highest and most advanced stuff. I actually have no Neurozophine. I have no need to take Neurozophine, or at least no ill effects from not taking it. So generally, I kind of forgot all about it. All right, so this is the area that we need to go into, TF29. This is the super secret fancy place I work. You know, I'm going to the side because, you know, why not? Like, I'm gonna find and explore places, and I'm gonna steal everything I can. Also because I actually didn't know if I was supposed to go in through the front door or not. But, you know, that's besides the point. Now this is where I'm supposed to go. This area, that's where I'm supposed to go. Knowing that and getting the key card, I figured, well, I may as well explore around this area and then come back. Outside on the other side, there is a locked door, and in this storage room, I found a couple of things. One, it looks like this guy is gonna go on a spree. He's calculated where he needs to go, and a few other things. Now, the most important thing you're gonna find here is just under this little sign. As I was looking, I noticed that there was a rock that had a slightly outputted jutting, and inside this rock is a pocket secretary. Pocket secretaries are the information of this world, and it does tell me that in this place that there is there's a dead drop. There's a safe. There's a safe in an apartment, and this is the code. There's some more stuff to go along with it, and this guy's kind of paranoid, the guy who owns this little locker. But we'll eventually go to the apartment on the next episode. Today is not gonna matter. In this one, there's not really. There's like some minor things. This one was actually a harder hacking device. So it tells me just a bit more of the same thing. This one actually kind of told me, again, to go back to the apartment, which we're gonna find on the next episode. But today we're gonna spend some time in TF29. We're gonna go finish up some story stuff, and then we're gonna go from there. I'm kind of just skimming through this thing. And the nice thing about exploring so much and hacking and doing all this stuff is that by looking around in a game such as this, I can find codes that I will remember. Like, it'll come up in future future situations where I'll be trying to hack. It's like, oh, this is the code. It's like, well, okay, that's the code. I don't need to press anything. I just need to, get out. There's not too much here. I was just kind of goofing off, seeing if there's any small secrets. And there are secrets in the game. There's hidden switches and under desks. There are ways to kind of get here and there through secret passages. But the most secret of the secret
This whisper chip you gave me
is this place,
You're heading into TF29 already?
which I'll leave Vega to explain.
Fair enough. There'll be a data port on the NSN's motherboard. Access it and then just plug and play. Or plug and record in this case.
Got it. I'll let you know when it's done.
Alright, so Vega's actually not part of the TF29. I am part of TF29. She is part of a resistance group. One of the many factions that we're going to be kind of choosing to side with. And this place is pretty much the secret police. This is what FBI and CIA want you to believe their warehouse are.
Want to catch Janus, we're going to have to get creative because nothing we're currently doing.
Now, there's a lot of areas in this room in particular. There's just a lot of random
That's good to see you're okay.
exploration stuff.
Hey, Aria.
Or so random talky bits.
I got lucky.
I was here
This
working when the
girl,
first reports came
whose
in.
name I cannot
It
recall
was
right now
chaos.
because it's not on screen.
Phones ringing off the hook, people yelling, scrambling. to find
She
out
is
what's
one of the
going on.
few augmented people
Miller
in
told
this
me you were
in this
there.
area, in this
I'm all right.
whole segment. I am the only.
Good.
Adam Jensen is the
You looking for
only
him? 'Cause he's tied up right now meeting with Leon, I think.
augmented field
He's
agent.
using the NSN right
Yeah,
now.
the field agents are the ones who go out on assignments.
Oh,
The
hey,
one who go
that
on
reminds me, here's yours.
goes out on assignments, goes out and do the grunt work and dirty work out in the
this?
field.
The card
The
for the shooting range.
insiders,
Chang changed all
like
the codes this
Alexandra,
morning, said something about only giving access to
Alexandra,
people he's vetted
Alexandria
personally.
here.
The bombing
She
rate freaked
is
him out. Third
one
in
of the
6
few
months, can
augmented
you
people
believe it?
that works here alongside me,
really glad you're
who
okay.
also has augments. She has an augment on her arm. You rarely see it,
Get back
and
downstairs.
it wasn't even noticeable
Okay.
until I was told about
Come
it
by
later.
if you want to talk.
Copy that.
But she seems to be one of the cooler people here, in which she doesn't actually hate me, and or actively kind of likes me, or likes to spend time around with me, or spend time with me. There's a digging through some of the these little portable notepads. TF29 is not quite the wholesome goodness place that wholesome bastion of good that the everybody kind of wants you to think. It does have some, with different people playing in being in the game. You have different reactions to people and situations. So there's some bad people here. There are some bad people here. There's some secret double agents. There's a few things. And right now, what I need to do is I need to break into the room to go and talk, or to go and connect a recording device into the station. And the best way I know how is to walk up into the man-sized air circulation vents instead of one of the 3 other ways. I just decided, you know what? I'm just gonna slowly go thunk 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 through all of these air vents, which are just conveniently Adam Jensen's shaped. It was one of the easier ways to do it. We're gonna go through here. On the other side, there's actually another path that all I had to do is just kind of jump on the right side, and I could have made it through. But that's not here nor there. I'm gonna do some hacking. Well, I'm gonna save first. I'm gonna do some hacking. There's not. So I am a special unit task force. And whether or not I am the place I'm working for is a good place, it still remains to be seen, being so early in the game. There do seem to be some underlying issues.
Weird, it's already picking up a freak. Jesus, Adam, is Miller in there right now?
Shit, gotta go.
He was.
Jensen, I need to see you now.
Yeah, this part too freaked me out. It's like he just yells at me as soon as I do. It's like, oh shit, he knows. There's a lot of stuff. What I'm gonna do throughout this game is I'm gonna find people that I enjoy or I can trust, and then kind of base my
Agent
reactions
Jensen
upon
reporting
them.
For duty, sir. Tried to do it earlier, but you were on a conference call.
Yeah, I was. Should I be worried about you, Jensen?
Sorry.
That blow you took to your systems. It's not messing with your head or anything, making you do things.
I'm not gonna go crazy and start attacking people, if that's what you're worried about.
You've been checked out then.
Yeah, no, this entire thing, this entire situation,
Care of it.
I was like,
Good, good.
oh
God
shit,
knows with all that's happened.
he saw me, or he knows that I was just like tampering
You
with
sounded pissed when
the
you called me
NFS
in.
system.
Everything okay?
Don't ever leave the field, Jensen. You'll regret it. As soon as you strap a desk to your ass, you'll be swimming in God.
No, in fact, he's just pissed off because
The
politicians.
boss is giving you trouble.
What? Oh, that. No, the trouble's state police. They're pushing us out of the Rosika investigation. I want you over there to make sure that doesn't happen.
You're putting me on the train station attack? Not Dubai?
Forget Dubai. McCready's handling it.
Now, here I have an option. McCready, if you don't remember, is the douchebag from the first episode, who I pointed my metal arm at. He doesn't like me, I don't like him, he works at the same place, and we can either choose to go back and focus on Dubai, the tutorial mission, or find out who blew up this train station. And really, the train station is more important for me, because it is more immediate, and it happened to everybody, not just, like, me personally, but, like, they hurt civilians. That's my thing on
him
it.
to let me handle this one. Whoever planted those bombs yesterday has a lot to answer for.
Agreed. And we have to find out who they are before the state police fuck up our crime scene.
You said they're trying to push us out?
I sent Fletcher in this morning to oversee evidence collection. Seems he's being detained because he hasn't checked in since.
Yeah, so we have two power factions right now. We have the state police and we have ourselves. And we are,
over terrorist investigations.
yeah, exactly as Jensen's saying. It's like we
well,
are focusing on
former
terrorist
director of their security
investigations. We're kind of more
information
worldly.
services run
We're like
state
FBI.
police now. He's come up
The
with
state
a
police
loophole,
are,
claiming this attack falls
you know,
under
they're more
homegrown
like they want to
terror
hold their own.
Homegrown.
We'll see how it plays out. But
Rights Coalition.
Prague is, as
Don't
you've seen,
care what
already
he
hates
said.
augmented
He may
people,
even be
augmented.
right. I just
augmented,
want us in there
humans.
So we can find out.
So it's difficult to say if a higher up is doing this, if it was the shadowy people from episode 2, or if it was, is there something else going on? We'll find out eventually, but it won't be on today's episode. It probably won't even be for like the next 18 episodes.
So how
I
do I
don't
get to
quite know how well
Public
how fast this
transportation's
game
not
is going to
stopping
go
it.
from story to story.
For you, once I make a phone call, head to the metro and call me when you're there. Good luck, Agent.
So Miller and
Hey,
Arya,
hang on a
I
sec.
said Alexander
Filling out
earlier,
supply requests
and
for
Arya
Mr.
seem to be
McCready and his boys'
cool
TV's
people
help.
that I
don't
can
wanna
kind
give
of
them another reason to say no.
I can kind of gauge where their
They
stance
know
are.
what?
You know,
Are you kidding me?
she simply
Right
wants
now,
to
you're the
be
only active augmented
help
agent we
protect
have.
people.
I'm hoping to change that. Been asking him every week practically, but so far
Miller
mission denied.
Miller might be a hard ass,
Really?
but I mean he
Give you
also
a
just
reason?
kind of wants
Does my
things to
stress
get done.
levels are too high?
So
Told
I
him
can
should
understand
sign up for
their
meditation
their
classes and
baseline
have
of where they
Chan with me so he'd chill
what they
out and
want to
stop
do
changing security
and why
keys
their
all the time.
why
It
their
sucks 'cause I
actions
really wanted to
are
find out
as
who
such.
those crashers in Dubai were.
I still can't believe Miller gave the gold mask case to McCready.
Oh, I'm sorry, Adam. You were there too. You're probably as pissed about those guys getting the drop on the team in Dubai as McCready is. I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't been there. Agent Singh might have been killed.
It could have been worse. That's why I want to find these guys. Maybe I'll talk to McCready, see if I can help.
Good luck with that.
And
He chewed me out for asking if I could
another
help
thing
with
is
the case.
it's easy enough to be a hard ass.
I
It's
don't
easy
want
enough
to
to
stick me
be
out my
super
range anyway.
difficult, both in games and in
You're
life.
saying your stress levels were
If-
affecting your chances of becoming a
I
field
am a
agent.
bit more
Why is that?
of a neutral
I have a
character
rare resistance to
or a
neuropathy.
pacifist
I
as it
need more than
comes
the average
both in
person,
real life and in
especially
video
in
games.
stressful situations.
It's easy.
They say I'd
It's
be too
easy to
expensive.
be.
So it's not just discrimination. That would be easier to deal with.
It's easy to
a
lash out in
combination of
anger,
things.
to lash out in fear, to lash out whatnot.
Well, that
It's
combination
more
of things is
difficult,
pretty bad in
and
Prague, and getting worse.
it's more difficult
I know.
to basically
But Interpol
listen
was the only agency
to
who
a
would give
guy
me a chance, and this is where
you
I was
hate,
assigned.
and
no
figure out
problem
what's
with
going
that. I'll take
on
whatever they throw at
and
me.
why they think that way.
Good.
I may not always like
Took me
their
months of
answer, and
rehabilitation,
nothing may ever come of it.
arm,
But
learning how to shoot
if at
again,
any
learning how to
point
tie my
I
own
can
boots.
subside the
But I
anger
did
that
it,
is
and
in
I'm
the
better than I was
vicinity, the
before.
room,
I
it's
wanna
like
help, and I can't
I
find
don't
places out there in
need
the field
anger
where
in
I
my
can make a
life
difference. You know that. And if you can
to the
do it, so
extent
can
that
I.
people tend to sprout it in such bullshit.
Don't give up, Arya.
Like
It's
I
not
don't
a fight.
need
Hoorah.
I don't need to be, you know, I don't need to be around like the
After
Westboro
bombing,
Baptist
when
Church
Chang changed
guys,
all the locks and codes, was he under
but I
arrest?
also don't need to be around the
Was there a
guy, you know,
credible threat to our
that
location?
the asshole in high school or
I don't
college,
think so. You know how he gets.
you know, who just always
So
like
he wasn't
just
the only
yells
one
at people. It's like
overreacting
I
this
don't
time.
care.
A lot
I
of
don't
people have
care
been
about
here
them
for over
enough
36 hours, and the state
to want
police
to
have
deal with
not
that.
exactly been
But if I can
cooperative.
like get rid
I can
of that
imagine.
anger, that'd be
Took
all the
several hours
amazing.
before we
Because
got
if
the
I get a
security
headache,
footage
other
from the
people are
train
getting
station and
headaches. It's
surrounding
like
streets.
fuck them.
It's like they don't trust Interpol. It's weird. I can almost understand Chang's paranoia.
Well, Chang doesn't trust anyone, especially anyone in law enforcement.
Well, if you thought he was high-strung before, the attack only made him more manic. He's making connections no one else sees, and some that may not be there.
Explosions tend to damage things like sensitive electronic equipment.
Right? Try telling him that.
All right, so Chang is the resident IT guy.
Well, I
He's
better
the
let you get back to work.
super hacker defensive
sure.
guy,
Talk to
super
you later.
defensive hacker that this place works that we work at with or work that works with us. We'll talk to him in a little bit, but first I need to steal all the stuff in here and break into this area. Now this is actually one of the other ways to get into the NFS place to open up to put in the recording device. This is one of the other ways. This one is more of a hacking based one, and
Access
like
granted.
I had already gotten it, so I'm just using this to get information. I personally don't. I sometimes read all of these and I sometimes don't. What happens is I will go through them to make sure that there's not a specific clear cut like, oh, by the way, I killed somebody, I buried the bodies on the 3rd floor. You know, please don't look there. And then I go over there to the 3rd floor of a building where they buried the bodies. Don't ask me how you bury bodies on the 3rd floor, just don't ask. But like I basically skim through all of these and make sure that there's not a clear cut like, hey, I'm secretly a bad guy. You should not tell anybody. By the way, I hid a couple $1 million in this room. All you have to do is press in 55545 and, you know, to steal my money. But don't steal my money because I like money. Yeah, so there's the NFS key card that we could have gotten. But we've already, I'm just hacking through this. I'm using it to get the experience, and also for later if I ever do come back, which I probably will, to just kind of like sneak in and break into everything without people's interference. That gate we saw actually took us out of the room into the main hallway.
Agent Singh. Wasn't
Now, if
expecting
you remember
to see him
Singh was a guy that on the first episode I was like,
Just
this
passing
guy's
through.
kind of shady,
I wanted to thank your team for the
and it
backup
kind of
supply. That
he
still
kind of
would have helped
explains
faster
why
than the storm
he is
did.
shady,
You're welcome.
but
But I don't think you came all
as
this
of
way
right
to
now,
say
he is still up in the air as whether or not I will trust
Asked
him
me to
in the
get
game.
Agent McCready up to speed. Now I have the red-eye flight back to Oman.
thanks. Headed into the field office there.
Not exactly. One of our black sites. I'll be dropped in as a captured enemy combatant. After I contact my fellow Jinn prisoners, I shall lead a very convenient escape.
Re-embedding with the Jinn. Aren't you taking a big risk, given everything that happened?
So yeah, this was the undercover agent that on the first episode I was like
TF29 bell towered the Jinn.
reading through all of the emails and everything. The Jin guy, or sorry, not the Jin, Singh
Hopefully
is
my
kind
cover is still
of
good.
shady. He might not be all on the up and up.
You're thinking the Jinn can get a beat on our gate crashers faster than TF29.
Perhaps.
And again, I still don't quite know him, but
An augmented
after
kill
talking
squad,
to him,
military training.
I kind of understand more
ever
of
seen
the
anything
reason
like it?
why he's doing it,
Yeah, once.
and it
It's a long
makes
story.
it makes sense for him. I may
Did you
not
get anything
agree
out
with
of
it,
the
but
cleanup
we're gonna
operations?
use
Most of the
him and
corpses
his knowledge And because because on the first episode we helped stop the radio broadcast, Singh now has an easier chance of getting undercover, and maybe down the line he'll help me, or you know, I will have to deal with him later. And if I have to deal with him later due to something I did, you know, fuck it, I'm just gonna let him. I'll deal with that later. I'd rather help him now and deal with him later than judge him now and then lose potential benefits later. Again, both in life and in video games.
Enough to build another couple of you. That is a joke.
Right. It's the world we live in. Anyone with an exemption to the weaponized augmented ban is a useful tool. Or a terrorist. Whoever they were, they knew exactly when the deal was going down. Any chance they were based locally in Dubai?
No. After the incident, Dubai became the world's most luxurious tombstone. Perfect for the jinn, but for no one else.
I thought human augmentation was frowned on in the Middle East. Why was Dubai hit so hard?
Because it was another world. Two
So,
other worlds, in fact.
Here
One
he
of
touches
extreme
kind of on a
augmentation
few
growth
things.
crystal, and one of thousands of
Obviously,
others
there's a Middle East in the real world, and there's Middle East in this game, and augmentation is frowned upon in the Middle East.
No agent.
Okay,
Jensen.
take up that what you will. In the game, we'll just talk about it as in game.
Divine punishment.
But
But that day was
if
not
it's frowned
the work
upon,
of a merciful God.
but yet somehow
I don't
only
know
the
what you got
super
ahead of you.
rich were augmenting themselves, it creates a kind of like, it creates a weird dynamic. Is where like the top, you know, the top percentage were like, oh, it may be frowned upon for everybody else, but I am
Yeah,
above,
I understand the feeling.
you know, social standings. I'm above all this stuff, so it doesn't matter for me. Alright, here's McCready. We're just gonna steal a few things. McCready again is the guy we talked and met with in the first episode.
Is there something I can help
Who
you
he hated me, and I wanted to snap his neck.
That hit us in Dubai. Any leads yet?
Christ, I know I'm good, Jensen, but I've only been on it for 5 minutes.
A lot can happen in 5 minutes, McCready. You check with the ME yet? Get anything off the bodies we recovered?
Leftovers are on ice at the Oman substation. I've been told they were scrubbed clean as summer whites. No prints, no dental, no nothing.
So in other words, it's no steps forward and 2 steps back.
For now. That's why it's a good thing you disabled the Jinn's comms booster in Dubai. Singh's cover with the Jinn is still intact. I'm hoping once he's back in Basra, he can use his network to dig around. Maybe these gold-masked jokers will ping locally. Probably another fucking jihad looking to make some noise.
I don't know.
So
I'm not so sure we should be looking for these guys.
So there's gonna be there's of course gonna be some there's always gonna be parallels between the real world and what's going on, but
Come on, McCready.
in
These
this
guys were
instance you
all
got to
mentioned in
remember
military
jihad
grade
is
hardware.
simply a word
Body
for
augmentation
extremist.
goes against Muslim beliefs. They
All right.
weren't jihadists.
They are there's atheist jihadists, there are religious jihadists. It simply is the word for extremist. All right.
It's not your case.
Don't just try not to make it a. Let's try to make it a whole thing. Okay, so again, look, this guy, I hate him. He hates me, but at the same point, look, I don't care. You can hate me. You can hate me all you want. But at the end of the day, you and I have the same
We're not a couple
goal.
of beat cops filling a monthly quota here. This isn't about whose collar it is. It's about getting the people responsible. Full stop.
Look, I get what you're saying, but I'm working a $5 investigation on 50 cents worth of shit. I've got speculation to spare, mate. Listen, I know I come off strong. I've got 3 ex-wives that'll back that up. But that's just how I'm built. Putting on a show for the new guys isn't going to change what's underneath.
I can appreciate that kind of honesty.
Good. So when I say I'm impressed with how you handled yourself in Dubai, you can appreciate that I meant it. With that sandstorm giving us colonics, stripping the juice box out the chopper was an inspired choice. But that mission
So,
is over.
And here
Your
we're talking,
involvement in
and
it
this is
ends
something that's
now.
kind of interesting. It's like,
Got
look,
it?
we hate this guy. We still hate this guy. But at least, you know, there's a reasoning for his
How the hell did you get such a sunny
abrasive
disposition
nature.
anyway, McCready?
Knowing about me is
Like
not
whether or
being
not
his
it's
friend,
whether or not we
Jensen.
agree with the guy,
but I'll
at
humor
this
you.
point, I can understand his
I
sense
joined
of
regular army straight out of
reasoning,
secondary school,
his sense
made
of
UKSF at 25
ideology when it
and
comes to
recruited into
how
the
he wants to do it.
SRR 4
He
years
hates augments. All right.
Special Reconnaissance Regiment.
He hates augments.
That's
He
the
hates
lead
me.
unit.
Probably because I'm augmented. He
Oh,
probably hates
yeah.
half the
Very
world.
glamorous. All
But
champagne and blowjobs.
in particular, he hates augments,
So what happened?
and people who
After 12
abuse
years
power.
hunting terrorist shipbirds across every desert on the face of the earth, I found there was no fucking end to the evil this world churned out. I couldn't see the point in what we were doing anymore. So I quit.
So what brought you back to the life?
I suppose it was purpose. A tool without a job to do can only grow rust. So here I am, back in it, serving my purpose. As a tool yourself, mate, you should understand that, yeah?
All right. So
Yeah.
I like that. I like the way he said that
Tell
because
me, why do you think the bodies
it
would be
could also
100%
mean one,
alive?
he's comparing me to himself, who he called a tool. But he could also, if you want to think of it like
You
that,
don't think it's strange
he could have
we have
also
to
called
call
me a
him that?
tool because I am basically a robot. You take whatever you want out of
That's what I heard
human
too.
interactions and things like this. But I'm gonna say fuck it. He's a hard ass, but we can him and I will be able to manage.
Yeah, I got it. It was nice talking to you, McCready.
No, it wasn't.
All right, so now we're gonna go talk to Chang, our resident
Jensen,
our
we
resident
need
our
to
resident IT guy.
My God.
Now this is
Jensen,
a neurotic little guy,
We should relocate. I was thinking we could corner Director Miller together.
like
Tell him-
super
tell him
neurotic.
it's
But
just-
he,
it's not safe enough here.
it's hard to say
We're
whether he's
fine.
paranoid without
Police
reason
station,
or if he's
train
paranoid.
station, we're next.
There's a saying that if
I can
you're
more than
only
feel it, I can
paranoid
see it
until
happening.
you're
No one
only
knows where we
paranoid
are.
until
There's no reason to
they're
get
actually
paranoid.
following you,
That's
and
where
then
you're
you're
wrong.
right.
They're trying to pull the lid
He
off
take
what's
this. He
against
might take this a bit
someone
to the
is.
extreme,
Praha-Dovos
but it's hard to
just
say
got hacked.
whether this paranoia is in his
Building's
head,
Front company. Thought it was fake.
actually something
Now, if
actually
it
going
was
on,
fake,
or
Miller's
if
got me
it's
cleaning up
a little bit of
intelligence
mix
from the
between
attack
both.
to help figure out who these people are. Meanwhile, maybe they're trying to figure out who we are. Why else poke into an import company?
You think someone's figured
Now
out
it is
the
also
company's a front?
it is also
Maybe they
worth
don't
noting
really down here.
that
We have a
in his
lot
line of work,
enemies. The
he
people
is a
who bombed the
data
train
analyst,
station. You don't think they'd
and
love to know
he
where we are?
sees
You need to help me figure
data
out who's
upon
looking
data
into us
upon
and
data
make
upon
them stop.
information of things that are coming in. So he has to make these connections,
I'm gonna need more information
Or
about this
else-
group of yours.
or else
I don't know
more
for sure that
bombings
covers
can
the bomb,
occur, or
but if it
else
has,
more
we
things
need to
like
know
Dubai are
before
going to
enemies have
occur.
a chance to
Like
do
he
something
has
about
to have a level of paranoia and see connections where others might not,
You got
to
an ammo on
hopefully
this hacker?
help
At first, I thought it
help
might be the collective,
TF29,
But you're
help
not
Jensen,
convinced.
help the field agents, the
Not
guys who
Janus's style to
put
make
themselves out
progress
in
big.
danger,
But whoever it is, they risk
on
exposing
a
us.
day-to-day
If
basis.
the collective ever found out where we operate, my God, Jensen.
Maybe Janus knows already.
Hey, don't say shit like that. I get nervous enough as it is.
You really think there's a risk here? Maybe someone's just poking around the fake website of a fake company.
If someone points a gun at me, I assume it's loaded. If someone hacks into the website of the company that serves as our cover, I assume they're doing it for a bad reason.
Such as?
Everything depends on who they are and what they know. But we're in the business of dealing with terrorists. If those terrorists find out where we are,
TF29 likes its privacy.
sure. More importantly, Chang likes being in one piece. Unlike you, I don't just brush off explosions.
What can you tell me?
I am
about
pretty
our front
badass.
company?
I do just get exploded
Praha-Dovos
and
was
then
designed to be forgettable.
get better.
The kind of place you walk by 100 times and still can't remember.
It obviously caught someone's attention. What happens if we're compromised?
My guess, we dismantle and disappear. Agents go into hiding, director burrows into some hole, poof. No Christmas party.
No, not the Christmas party. I love the Christmas party. I just kind of now want to see Adam
Find out as
Jensen
much as you
in
can
like a
about our
reindeer
story.
hat.
Make sure we're not
I'm gonna see if I can get Christy to draw that. Alright, so this is a side quest, and we are actually gonna go ahead and accept the side quest. We're gonna figure out out
33 Hill Avenue, just down the
if-
street. This
if
guy
there's
walks
something
by us
behind
every
it, 'cause there's no
second.
reason not to.
Probably walks in.
You're kidding.
See? You feel it now. The constant buried alive feeling. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought we were supposed to be suspicious of things that go on outside these walls.
It's never that simple.
Just get into that apartment, access the computer they used, and find out what you can. And be careful, Jensen. We don't know who we're dealing with.
I'll look into it. As soon as I know something, so will you.
So it's weird because it's weird, and it might be something to it, but the place we're supposed to go is actually the same apartment from when we found in the room next to our building earlier.
Deciphered correctly.
Can you fix it?
I'm a pilot, not a programmer. I can do it, but it's gonna take some time.
So the apartment that we're gonna go to in the next episode actually already has another side quest from when we found in that room next to us. So we have one more person to talk to, and then we'll end this episode. This is the storefront
The store
owner.
had been empty.
We all have our roles to play, Sedlak. How's yours going?
It is giving me new respect for criminals who run front operations. Late shipments, supply problems, random police searches at customs. Ugh.
I thought this store was just a front.
Best Front is a real company. Prahadovos is registered as an international shipping corporation in every country in the EU. I can get an office, way station, or depot up and running anywhere in Europe within 72 hours.
It's pretty cool.
I do not suppose you spoke to
I
Chang.
kind of like her. She's
He told me you've been
she's
hacked.
she's probably one of the most down to earth people we've met so
I
far.
will sleep better knowing an experienced field agent is on the case.
Anything you can tell me about this hack?
Chang will know more than me. I just told him something strange was going on. Utility statements being accessed, incomplete information on orders, that kind of thing.
The kind of thing that's easy to miss. Surprised you noticed it.
When you have been doing this as long as me, you start to question every little thing. Plus, that old lady kept coming around.
Old lady?
Old
Chatty
lady.
thing. I thought she was just lonely, until I caught her staring at the terminal when my back was turned.
Did you confront her about it?
I told Chang. Asked him to put a field agent on it.
With augments as they are,
Agent?
it is actually possible
both
to
know the
remote hack.
details.
We've actually
There are
remote
two
hacked
types of
things
agents
in the
this
past, so
office.
it is
The ones
possible
who do the
while she's
footwork
staring at a
and
terminal,
the
she is
ones
hacking
who
into it.
analyze them.
We'll see when we go into the next
think
episode when we
Chang's
go into the
one of those?
apartment complex.
I think Chang lives in his head too much. He is good. He's very good, but it is also good that the task force brought in a new psychologist this month.
Well, I better
All
get
right.
going.
Thank you,
Let us know
lady.
if I find
We
anything.
should go ahead into the apartment. We'll go figure out what's going on in there.
I have a cover to keep. I'm glad you were not hurt in the bombing yesterday, Agent Jensen. The task force needs good
Anyways,
men.
this has been Chris from Offering Productions. I hope to see you on the next episode. I'm gonna be here tomorrow and forever and ever and ever, and I'll see you guys later.